Yo, what's up everybody? It's me again. You clicked on this video because you're ready to take your films to the next level. But let's be real, we've all been there, staring at our early work like, what in the blurry, shaky world is this? But hey, that's how we learn, right? The key is to identify those mistakes, fix them up, and never look back. That's what we're diving into today. We're dissecting the most common filmmaking mistakes us creative folks make when we're just starting out. So grab your gear, hit that subscribe button, and let's turn those filmmaking fails into wins. Alright, let's kick things off with composition and framing. This is where the magic truly begins. You see, it's not just about pointing your camera at something cool and pressing record. It's about crafting a visual story, guiding the viewer's eye exactly where you want it to go. Think of it like this. Your frame is your canvas. And just like a painter uses brushstrokes, you're using the elements within your frame to create a masterpiece. Now, one of the biggest mistakes I see beginners make is neglecting the power of the rule of thirds. Imagine a tic-tac-toe board over your frame. Instead of slapping your subject dead center, try positioning them along those intersecting lines, or at the power points where those lines meet. Boom! Instantly more balanced and visually engaging. Next up, leading lines. Roads, fences, shadows, even a row of trees. These are your secret weapons. Use them to draw the viewer's eye towards your subject, creating depth and a sense of journey within the frame. It's like dropping breadcrumbs for your audience to follow, subtly guiding them through your visual narrative. And don't even get me started on headroom. We've all seen those rookie shots where half the subject's head is chopped off. Not a good look, my friends. Give your subject some breathing room. Leave a little space above their head and make sure their eyes are positioned about a third of the way down from the top of the frame. It'll feel way more natural and pleasing to the eye. Now, eye level. This one's huge for connecting with your audience on an emotional level. Choose your eye level wisely, depending on the story you want to tell. Alright, let's talk about lighting. Because let's be real, it can make or break your film. I'm talking night and day difference. And the mistake I see over and over again, harsh, unforgiving lighting that washes out your subject or leaves them looking like they're trapped in a horror movie. No bueno. Here's the deal. Light is everything. It sets the mood. It reveals texture. It adds depth and dimension. So if you want your films to look cinematic and professional, you gotta master the art of light. First things first, ditch the harsh, direct light. If you're shooting outside, avoid the midday sun like the plague. It creates those nasty, unflattering shadows that nobody wants. Instead, aim for the golden hours, that magical time right after sunrise or before sunset when the light is soft, diffused, and oh so dreamy. Trust me, your camera will thank you for it. Now, if you're stuck shooting indoors, don't panic. You can create beautiful cinematic lighting with a little bit of know-how. First up, soften that light. Harsh shadows got you down. Diffuse that light source. You can grab a fancy softbox or keep it real with a white bedsheet. It's all about bouncing that light around, making it nice and even. Remember, lighting is not just about illumination. It's about painting with light, creating mood and atmosphere. So experiment, play around, and watch your films transform from flat and boring to dynamic and visually stunning. Okay, let's talk about shaky footage. We've all been there. You're watching back your masterpiece and suddenly it feels like you're on a roller coaster ride gone wrong. Headaches all around. Look, unless you're going for that found footage, Blair Witch vibe, shaky footage is a one-way ticket to Amateurville. But fear not, my friends, because I'm about to drop some truth bombs on you that will banish shaky footage from your filmmaking life forever. First and foremost, invest in stabilization. A tripod, my friends, is your new best friend. It's like having a third arm that never gets tired, holding your shots steady and smooth. And if you're on the move, grab yourself a gimbal. These bad boys are like magic, smoothing out your movements, turning you into a one-person Steadicam crew. But hey, I get it. Gear can be pricey. So, what if you're on a budget? No problem. You can still get buttery, smooth footage with a little bit of technique. Number 1. Get low, get stable. Hold that camera close to your body. Use your body as a tripod. And when you're moving, move those feet, not just your arms. Remember, smooth footage equals professional-looking films. Alright, let's talk about audio. Because here's the cold, hard truth. You can have the most visually stunning footage in the world, but if your audio is trash, nobody's going to watch it. Seriously, bad audio is like nails on a chalkboard. It'll make people click away faster than you can say microphone. So, how do you avoid this tragic fate? It's simple. Prioritize your audio. Treat it with the same level of care and attention as you do your visuals. First and foremost, ditch the built-in camera mic. I repeat, ditch the built-in camera mic. Those things are notorious for picking up every little sound, from wind noise to traffic to your neighbor's dog barking. Not exactly the cinematic soundscape you're going for, right? Instead, invest in an external microphone. A shotgun mic is great for capturing directional audio, perfect for interviews or dialogue scenes. A lavalier mic, those little clip-on mics, are fantastic for capturing clean, clear audio directly from your subject. And hey, if you're on a budget, even a simple USB microphone will be a massive upgrade over your camera's built-in mic. Now, once you've got your microphone game on point, it's time to talk about audio levels. You don't want your audio to be so quiet that people can't hear what's going on, but you also don't want it to be so loud that it's distorted and clipping. Aim for a sweet spot of around -12 to -6 decibels. And finally, let's talk about location. Recording in a noisy environment? Not ideal. Find a quiet space where you can control the sound. Alright, let's talk about camera movement, because one of the biggest mistakes I see beginners make is keeping that camera glued to one spot. Look, I get it, static shots are safe, they're easy. But too many of them, and your film is going to feel, well, kind of boring. Like watching paint dry boring. And nobody wants that. Camera movement is your secret weapon to inject energy, emotion, and cinematic flair into your films. It's about guiding the viewer's eye, revealing new information, and keeping them engaged every step of the way. So, how do you do it? Let's dive into some techniques. First up, the slow push-in. Want to add drama or intensity to a scene? Slowly push in on your subject, tightening the frame, drawing the viewer's attention to their reaction, their emotions. It's a classic technique for a reason, folks. Next, the pull-out. Want to reveal a dramatic location or give your audience a sense of scale? Pull that camera back, slowly and smoothly, expanding the world within the frame. It's a great way to create a sense of awe and wonder. Then we have the tracking shot. Want to add movement and energy to a scene? Track your subject as they move, keeping them in the frame, creating a sense of fluidity and motion. It's like you're right there with them, experiencing the action firsthand. Remember, camera movement is all about being intentional. Alright, let's talk about the big kahuna, the heart and soul of filmmaking storytelling. Because here's the thing, my friends, you could have the most technically perfect footage in the world. Perfect lighting, perfect composition, perfect everything. But if your story is weak, if it doesn't grab people by the eyeballs and refuse to let go, none of that technical wizardry is going to matter. Storytelling is about connecting with your audience on an emotional level. It's about making them feel something. Joy, sadness, anger, excitement, whatever it may be. And it all starts with a solid foundation. First and foremost, think in scenes, not shots. Every scene should serve a purpose, moving the story forward, revealing character, building tension. Don't just shoot random pretty things because they look cool. Every shot should have a reason to exist. And speaking of structure, let's talk about the 3-act structure. This is the backbone of countless stories, from Hollywood blockbusters to indie darlings. Act 1 setup. Introduce your characters, establish the world, hint at the conflict to come. Act 2 confrontation. This is where things get interesting. Obstacles arise, stakes are raised, your characters are put to the test. And finally, Act 3 resolution. The climax, the payoff, the satisfying or not so satisfying conclusion to your story. Now, within each scene, every frame counts. Avoid filler shots like the plague. Every moment should be working towards something, adding to the narrative, building the emotion. Ask yourself, does this shot move the story forward? Does it reveal something new about the characters? Does it evoke an emotion? If the answer is no, ditch it. And finally, remember that filmmaking is a collaborative art form. Bounce ideas off other creatives, get feedback on your scripts, collaborate with talented individuals who can bring your vision to life. Boom! There you have it, folks. the most common filmmaking mistakes that trip up beginners, and the simple, actionable fixes to make your films look like $1,000,000. Remember, we all start somewhere. The key is to keep learning, keep experimenting, and never stop pushing yourself creatively. And if you found this video helpful, do me a solid and smash that like button, subscribe to the channel for more filmmaking goodness, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload. Until next time, keep creating, keep hustling, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace out.